What's up, family? I'm tired, not feeling too well, but really wanted to share a message with you guys. It's been a minute since I put a video, and I just want to talk about transforming your situation. I don't know what you're facing with. I don't know what you're dealing with, but God laid this on my spirit tonight, and about transforming your situation. Do you know that you have the power to transform your situation? I don't care what's facing you. I don't care what you're faced with, the trials, the tribulations, the hurts, the pains, the wounds, the frustrations, the temptations, whatever that may be. Whatever situation you're in, you have the ability to be able to transform your situation. Um, I have scripture here, and it talks about David in 1 Samuel chapter 30. And I want to read it to you guys. And basically, David was coming to Ziklag, and he's coming back to see his family, and they find everything just burnt to the ground, and his wives are taken captive, and the family and everything they had was taken captive, and all the spoils. And so here we are in this part of the chapter. So chapter 30, verse 1 in 1 Samuel. And it said, and it came to pass when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the third day, that the Amalekites had invaded the south, and Ziklag had smitten Ziklag and burned it with fire, and had taken the women captives that were therein. They slew not any, either great or small, but carried them away, and went on their way. So David and his men came to the city, and behold, it was burned with fire, and their wives and their sons and their daughters were taken captives. Then David and the people that were with him lifted up their voice and wept until they had wept no more, power to weep. And David's two wives were taken captives, Ahinoam the Jezreelites, and Abigail the wife of Nabal the Carmelite. And David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of stoning him, because the soul of all the people was grieved, every man for his sons and for his daughters. But David encouraged himself in the Lord his God. I want to focus on that very last scripture. In that situation, David was put to blame because he was the leader of this great army. And he had an army of men. I don't know, maybe it was like 600 men or something like that. And all their children and wives are gone. And with that being said, it's like they wanted to stone David. Some of you might be in a stoning situation right now, whether people are against you, the enemy's against you, something's tormenting your mind, something's tormenting your soul. And I know in my own personal experience, I've had my own challenges. Yes, God has, I had a wonderful weekend this past weekend. God has blessed me tremendously. And, I was just walking in where God needs me to be, listening to his voice, being obedient. And it's funny because in the midst of your faithfulness, in the midst of receiving a blessing, and in the midst of walking in your purpose, there are going to be stumbling blocks along the way. And we're going to be, and it's just like it says, that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Always trying to take away the word that's been sown, the whatever has been given to you by God. Satan's trying to come back and snatch it up. When God has sown good seed, Satan's trying to sow tares among the wheat. But in the midst of what the enemy is trying to do in your life, I'm telling you that you have the power within you to turn around and transform your situation. Because what David did in this scenario, he was very grieved in this scenario. But in the end, he said, "But to David, but that was a big but right there. But David encouraged himself in the Lord his God." How do we transform our situation? we must put that but in the situation of our lives. Yes, I'm going through these issues, I'm going through these problems, but God says I'm an overcomer. But I could do all things through Christ, through Christ, which strengthens me. But I'll be able to soar as wings of eagles, run and not be weary, walk and not faint. But those buts are so important because it builds you up, it stretches you up, it turns your mental state around to where you are focused on the problem. And now it changes from focusing on the problem to focus on God's plan, on his purpose, on his word, on his truth, on the life that he presents right here in Scripture. That's what we must stand on. This is what we must stand on. This is the only thing that gets us through. Because I was just thinking, I was like, when we go through things in life, and it's very tempting. When you're going through something that's very difficult, and you just don't understand, why, Lord, am I going through this? Why am I suffering through this? I didn't do anything. I can't do anything to avoid this situation. I want to just run out of it. I want to escape it. But God's like, nope, I got you right here. But see, he's trying to birth something in you. He's trying to birth some strength in you, to dig deep, to get in, to really believe these scriptures. Because it's one thing to go and suffer through something and allow yourself to be bitter. And then guess what bitterness does? You have bitterness in your heart, you affect other people. You infect other people with your own bitterness. You infect other people with your own depression. You infect other people with your own crooked way of thinking. And these people that were with David, they were infected by the grief that they had, that they wanted to come together and stone David. But see, David had a God that was there for him in the midst of all the confusion, in the midst of all the pain. He knew what God had brought him through because he walked with God. And God was with him throughout his life. And God is with you. And he's for you. He's there to strengthen you. He's there to help you. He's there to encourage you in his word, which is why we got to know his word. And when we do stand on his word, he's able to turn that situation around. You're able to think different. You're able to rejoice. You're able to encourage other people. The reason you're going through some of the things you're going through is not just for you. There's a beauty in being able to take death and turn it into life. To take that darkness and transform it into light. The only way we can do that is through God, through his word, through his truth, and standing on it. And then God's able to transform. The very thing that was meant to kill you is the very thing meant to bless you and to bless other people. And I want to leave you with one more scripture. I'm going to read quite a few scriptures, and I hope this encourages you. I wasn't planning on reading this scripture, but I came across the scripture as I was trying to find this other one. And this really, I think this will really encourage you. So starting in Psalms 37, verse 3 and on down, it says, trust in the Lord and do good. So shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy way unto the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger, and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Lord, waiting is so important. We gotta wait, y'all. And they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. A little while. It's patience, all up in here. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in abundance of peace. I want to leave you with 3 more scriptures. If you go down to verse 23 in the same chapter of Psalms 37, it says this: the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he that delighteth in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholdeth him with his hand. I have been young, and now I am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. And so my last word for you guys today is that God will never forsake you. He will never leave you begging for bread, because he will take care of his own. He will take care of you. You just encourage yourself in the Lord. When you do that, you're able to transform your situation. Speak life, love others, have faith, and love Jesus. Keep your faith up.